Yeah, that's
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We're back now.
So all the previous comments went.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But let me just get my beef off my chest. And I am totally disappointed in the TTPS. Totally they can talk what they want. Imagine, I'm at the Pet Butler on Friday, and I just came out to grab something off my car, and I just looked down the road, and I saw two guys coming out of a taxi. One guy collapsed. He got a seizure. His friend ran to his aid. I ran to his aid. Other people ran. I called 999 and was put on hold for 6.5 minutes. Up to now, no police car arrived, apart from the one that was passing on the road, which we flagged down, that the guys continued to eat and did not even come out of the car. He just passing through and he stopped us. And when I told the 999 operator, I said, 6 minutes on hold, really? Oh, we have a lot of calls coming through. By that time, the guy seemed to be all right. He was able to stand. I gave him some water. He took a sip, and he was all right within 10, 15 minutes. And up to this day, up to this time, no police or ambulance arrived. I was really pissed off about that because it could be any one of us. Anyway, that's my rant.
Yeah, well, I just have some birthday greetings. Calvin Strong, my cousin, celebrating his birthday.
Hey, today. Calvin's birthday. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, he's around still. Calvin is doing some serious pastoral duties. Michael Quash, Brian McKenzie, Alicia Thomas, Cheryl Modest Allen, Susan Sami, Catherine Lam, Alicia Ramkisoon. They all celebrating birthdays today. And yesterday was former Mayor of Arima, Elvin Edwards' birthday. And also former councillor in Tonapuna Piako, Paul Guerra's birthday was also yesterday. And Deandra Marshall, that's the sister of Dane Marie Marshall, she celebrated her birthday yesterday too. So belated birthday greetings to all of those. And Randy Richards from Blue Waters also celebrated his birthday yesterday too. Right? Yesterday was also Calypso Rose. No, not yesterday. Saturday was Calypso Rose's birthday. MacArthur Lewis.
Oh, really?
She celebrated her birthday on Saturday. All right. So belated birthday greetings to those who would have celebrated birthdays. And of course, happy birthday to those who are celebrating. Tomorrow is the last day of April. I swear April was the fastest month I've experienced in a long, long time.
Yeah, this month well flew.
Yeah, it went by very quickly, you know. So good morning, people, and happy to be in the land of the living. Good morning, Sankofa, and thanks for your visit on Friday. We had a nice little chatty pass by Rumbox, just as we were closing up, actually, because we closed up and he left. So thanks for passing through and giving us a little visit, and also thanks to Adande Pigat also to pass and give us a little visit on Friday too. Yeah. So we had a nice little time on Friday. We were waiting on Paul. Paul said he was coming. He never showed up.
Sometimes it take a while to arrive.
Okay.
Good morning, Ragoobarsingh.
Hi, good morning, guys, and good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are across the planet.
Morning, Richie Rich. How are you? How was your weekend?
I'm good. I trust everybody had a great weekend.
Yeah, I was tempted on more than one occasion to go across to Tobago this weekend because there was jazz on the beach in Tobago.
There was jazz and Jaws.
Jazz and Jaws.
And Jaws, yes, it's true. I can't forget about that, Shaq.
Oh, that's a good jazz and Jaws. I see Jaws made international news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On a lot of British newspapers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it on the
BBC
British.
carried it on Friday evening. It's Friday.
Yeah,
Evening.
British newspapers carried it. British media, I should say, carried the story because it's not just in newspapers. Because one of my cousins in Vietnam sent me a story. Well, he's British, or truly British, but so he sent me an article. Well, sent our cousins group one of the stories because apparently he didn't know of it. I just saw it pop up in his feed as one of the stories from England. So he sent it to us, and I said, "Oh, well, you expect that the wood
type of story, yeah? It was.
Yeah.
What's that, Jaws?
And then,
we wish the Englishman a full recovery. But to me, the story is not ready. Is that yes? Is because that is the genesis of the story. The classic is the reward and the bounty.
Yeah, boy.
I have never heard such utter stupidness in my life.
Well said, Paul.
I have never heard such abject stupidness in my life.
Stupidity at a different level.
And someone would put a reward up. No, sorry. Let me retract and rephrase.
Because that's a
group of people, grown, educated people, would sit around the table because I'm sure the chief secretary didn't come to this decision on his own.
You think?
That more than one person would sit in a room and say, no, we have a shark attack. Very serious situation. A tourist has been seriously injured. Thank God he's alive, and from all reports on the mend.
Yeah.
And okay, what's our response to this? Let's put out a bounty and reward for the bull shark that bite the man, that attack the man. So, question. It have one bull shark in the sea. One.
I would love to see that.
There are extremely distinguishing marks on this bull shark. The person who was attacked have given you all a full report, including a description and identifying marks on the bull shark, so you could go and look for it and apprehend it. And wait. Let me play something for you. Wait. I have things this morning. Wait, listen to this.
Want to speak to the issue of the bounty that went out. So during the course of the day, a bounty went out offering $10,000 for fishers, registered fishers who can help us capture, in quotation, the bull shark. What is required in some jurisdiction, they refer to it as rescuing the bull shark, meaning being able to remove it from where it can cause harm to individuals and put it in a place where it can't cause harm to individuals. And so, because there's so much confusion over the bounty that is out, I've asked for the ad to be retracted, effective immediately. And I've asked that the fishers work along with the Coast Guard, work along with the divers and other stakeholders to expertly man the area.
So in Tobago, they don't say fishermen or fisher folk. It's fishers. What's fishers? I never hear somebody describe people as fishers. What's fishers?
So when they thought about this grand idea in response to the situation about a bull shark that attacked a man, they were sure was one bull shark in the area one. They had enough information that he could put out a bounty that people could go out there looking for this bull shark, in his own words, to remove it to a safe place, like where your swimming pool,
a frying pan,
or by Richard's Bacon Shark. That's a safe place.
Valley's a trip, yes.
So the moving it to a safe place is where, because the bull shark born in the sea, that is his domain.
Yes, we in his domain.
They live
And
there.
you sure is one bull shark, so the people will be able to identify this and apprehend or rescue the bull shark home, partner.
Yeah, but
isn't it unusual for bull sharks to be this far south?
Not according to marine biologist Valley Augustine.
Because the bull shark attacked the man in what, waist high water, not so?
Yes, which is the most scary part, because if it is that somebody swimming out and they went out and they went far out, you'd say, well, okay. But somebody standing up right there in the water and get attacked, that's concerning for everybody because that's where people go. That's where people go.
Something.
Yeah.
So what the bull shark swimming wrong waiting for more people to come. It didn't stay by Turtle Beach. He ain't see, well, he bites somebody and he lime around for it and rescue him. Look, I have never heard such utter stupidity personified.
Yeah, the reaction was almost comedy-like.
You know, and you're making a fool of yourself, though. And I'm sure, as I said, nobody around the table couldn't say, pardon, isn't that a good idea, you know?
You really feeling that people around the table, Paul?
Well, we have a bunch of yes men around him.
I think Fali just come
so
up with
nobody and say, boy, that ain't making no sense. They go laugh at you.
Because the original release that came out that with the shark attack came from him, you know. So like he decided he will take charge of this thing and $10,000 to risk my life to go and hunt down a shark. He mad.
And that's the next thing. When you put out an advisory like that, although you said qualified fisherman, I don't know how you used to be qualified fisherman.
Fishers. He said fishers.
How you used to be an experienced fisher, so I could have 2 months to say experience. If people were, let me be charitable here. Gracious to take up the offer and go out and get yourself in trouble. Come on. So when they hold the shark, you're right, Edwin Marshall. Where your passport? Where your ID, Mr. Shark? Where your ID? Let me see if you use it right. Let me see your teeth if it have any remnants of flesh in your teeth.
What you're bringing in?
But what it also would have encouraged is the slaughter of any shark that anybody see.
Well, we eat bacon shark, so
but we do eat shark here,
slaughter shark.
And there have been activists trying to stop us eating shark. That has been a movement.
You need encouragement to slaughter shark.
Yeah. So because that's a national dish of sorts, isn't it? But
you really feel a shark, people, as we get it?
Sometimes they do get shark. Sometimes it's catfish, but sometimes
exactly. I've heard it's catfish.
No, but sometimes it is shark. But
what wrong with a little catfish?
But I wouldn't know the difference. Oh God, we had Miss Curvilla last week Friday who crack up. So
but just in case you're attacked by a shark, what do you do? Well, one of the suggestions is, one of the things coming from experts is defend yourself. Playing dead does not work. It's not one of those animals where you can play dead with. So don't try and play dead. Never play dead.
No, you can play dead in the seawater.
Yeah, so defend yourself. You can play dead, you can try and float and play dead, but no.
By the time you know the shark attacking you, then bite you already.
So defend yourself.
Unless you see
it. Playing dead doesn't work. Use whatever you have at your disposal. Surfboard, dive gear, fishing equipment.
I saw somebody said punch it hard in the nose.
Avoid using
the
your
shark
bare
is 10
hands.
feet. You know how big 10 feet is?
Yeah.
Avoid using your bare hands to attack the shark. If you must use your hands, concentrate on attacking the eyes, nose, and gills. Make sudden movements to scare the shark. So those are some of the things you can do. Hopefully you will never have to use those tips.
Or you can just simply say the Lord's Prayer and accept your faith.
I'll bring that back to you. That statement, I will make sure and remind you of it. At some future point, it is going to come back to haunt you. I'll say, Wendell, say the Lord's Prayer and move on.
Accept your faith.
Say the Lord's Prayer and let's accept your faith. What you beating up about?
No, I mean,
it's quite stupid.
And then the attack and the reward ended up on international TV. And I saw an anchor and his colleague laughing at the reward.
You must laugh.
Must
What
laugh,
is it
yeah.
with that?
You know, they expressed sympathies and wished the man, but then they started to make a joke about it and say, so how you identify the right shark in the water? And they started to put up memes. I mean, really?
clearly Farley may have just recently watched the movie Jaws, especially the first one, because that's what was done. That's what was done, you know, and it caused a killing frenzy because real people get killed from that shark.
Anyway, let's also.
But besides that, you had another shark. You had, well, besides the shark that attacked the British tourist, and hopefully I think they actually were able to save his limbs. At least that's what one of the articles said.
The reports that he may have lost his
Fingers.
His arm below.
Oh, that surgery wasn't successful?
Apparently not.
Because I did see a report yesterday saying they
said his left hand was severed from the elbow down.
Ouch.
His left thigh was also bitten. He's also bitten in his stomach. So
you know, Paul, that was.
But they said they reattached his limbs in one of the.
Reattached. Okay, well, maybe.
Apparently, that's what they said in one of the.
Well, I'll be very happy to hear
that came out yesterday. And
I think it was fingers at the end of the day. You know, it wasn't the arm. I think it was fingers.
No, I saw an article yesterday that said about they reattached the limbs, and they think they may have saved his limbs.
Okay.
They said limbs, they didn't say fingers. So anyway, I suppose we will find out clearly. But besides that shark attack that took place in the water, there were also sharks fighting in the form of the Auditor General and the Minister of Finance.
Yeah, that's where we started off before we ended.
May I forward the letter from the Auditor General to Ragoobarsingh as an attorney?
Sure.
We did not.
It just
I have it here.
I can't read this when it's very, very long.
Well, read some of it. Give us.
I can paraphrase. She basically said that and of course it came from Freedom Law Chambers, headed by Anna Namlokan Senior Counsel. She fired back at Minister Imber and the Attorney General via pre-action protocol. She said she called on Imber to retract statements made in Parliament and clear the air and set the record straight. She said that in contravention of what he said, she did look at the revised information that he sent to her, but there was some $780.4 million that could not be accounted for in the overall $3.3 billion additional revenue that the minister cited that he sent her to revise the audited report, and that she did indeed, contrary to what he said, look at the new information. She said she received the amended national account, but noted there was no amendment to reflect the increase in the revenue figure. She expressed concerns the ministry had also backdated the amended account, which she said was unethical. And she took Imber to task by explaining it was completely untrue to suggest she did not audit the increased revenue figure. She said, in fact, she did. And the ministry could not produce any supporting documentation to substantiate and verify the alleged $3.3 billion increase in revenue. So in other words, she's saying, I did my job. And I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
But the ironic thing about this is that the Auditor General doesn't report to the Minister of Finance, you know.
No.
So
it's an independent office.
And even if at the time was extended in the House of Representatives, this resolution passed, it comes to the Senate today. Even if it is passed in Senate and the time is extended, she's under no obligation to revise the report, you know. Absolutely none. And now she's digging in and saying, well, listen to me, what you said is wrong, retract it. But of course, he's protected by parliamentary privilege. And I did look at it, and I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the odd thing, I believe, because someone who is in the know told me yesterday, and I could stand corrected if anyone knows better, that once, because the report is sent to the Parliament, to the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate. And I think the wording is that it is to be laid upon the first sitting after receipt by the Minister of Finance. The Speaker of the House called the minister to lay the report, and he said nothing. He didn't lay it. He moved on. The House moved on, you understand? He didn't respond to the call for it to be laid, and the House moved on. And I think
so the report has not been laid in Parliament?
No, it's not.
No.
So how did it become a topic in the Parliament then?
It became a topic because the government brought the resolution to have the time extended.
Okay.
You understand? I guess the thinking of the government was that the Auditor General is circumscribed and confined by one to lay the report in a particular time, 4 months after the close of the accounts, which is September, October, November, September. I think it's January 31st, which was done, and this resolution was to extend that time. I guess, in their opinion, if the issue was she was circumscribed by time and fulfilled that time, if we extended, she may have the opportunity to resend it.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But she's saying, I didn't ask for no extra time.
It's because, and I guess they asked for that because they didn't agree with what was in it. Is that what happened? Is that what you're getting?
Well, they didn't agree with it. They thought the new information should have triggered a revision of the document, given that $3.3 billion is not an unmaterial amount of money. It's a lot of money in the context of a $57 billion budget. You understand? That's more than some ministries get. So if the Minister of Finance and the Auditor General, and I guess by extension the Cabinet, thinks that this is material enough that it should be revised, because then think about it, it's additional revenue which puts the government in a better position in terms of the management of the economy.
Yeah.
You understand? But she didn't seem to think that it was that the documents to substantiate was supplied.
Oh.
So it's a really messy situation.
Yeah.
Auditors are very
fastidious.
Yeah, well, that's one adjective. And they're also very how should I say, very territorial about their duties. And generally, but when it comes to audits, either you conform to what the auditor wants and what information they require, or you do not get approved.
She is fully autonomous and independent.
It's one of those offices. I'm not speaking specifically about the Auditor General.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking generally about auditors. It's you provide the information or you get a qualified audit on whatever you're submitting. Huh?
Well,
and it just reference that I did not get A, B, and C, or whatever their opinion is what their opinion is. You're free to go to another auditor if you want.
And there was a toing and froing because I got the documents yesterday. Of the correspondences between the Attorney General and the Auditor General, and the Attorney General writing on behalf of the Minister of Finance saying, well, we are sending these documents for revision, and the Auditor General asking the HE to give me legal advice, and the HE saying, well, I can't give you legal advice because I'm already advising the Minister of Finance. So you can seek legal advice that the state would pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she sought legal advice. And it was already tinging on, is this political, is this not? Now, when you see the law firm representing the goodly lady,
yep, that's where it will go.
Find it going all political, and that's the perception.
That's where it will go. Mm-hmm.
So it's now turned into not only a legislative issue, and as Richard said, a domain issue, a territory issue, because the Minister of Finance has no input in the Auditor General's workings there. But now that because the missive from the pre-action protocol has come from Freedom Law Firm, Law Chambers, headed by former AG Ram Logan, it is now going to be perceived in the wider population as some sort of political fight, unfortunately. Which when it gets to this, there seems to be nothing that escapes the tinge of political battle in the country.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said before, even if the resolution this evening in the Senate passes and it becomes law, she still doesn't have to comply. You understand? Which is basically what she said in the thing. That you send the documents. What you said is untrue. I did look at it. I did audit it. I find that you haven't sent supporting document for me to change my position, and I have sent it to the Parliament. The auditor doesn't send it to the minister and then to the Parliament. The auditor sends it directly to the Parliament through the House, the Speaker, and the President.
That's another situation that will probably not end nicely.
No.
Because I had a long chat with CEO from the Port of Spain Corporation over the last few days, and that situation is going to get very, very awkward. Trust me, it's going to get very awkward.
For
the corporation.
as a
The
whole.
city corporation is sued.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna get awkward.
So I mean,
Because as I say that, I've always known Mrs. Annette Stapleton Seaford as a very straight-laced person. She's not the easiest person to get along with, but because she is sometimes a little hasty. But at the same time, I've never known any issues surrounding any corrupt activity around her and so on. But she is. Anyway, because that matter is under police investigation, let me don't say anymore. But it's not going to end. It's not going to be it's going to be an awkward situation for the council, I think, at the end of the day. That's what I think. So
And
the
other interesting thing, which I said I can't confirm, but is that it seems, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, that in the vote in the House on Friday, it seemed like the 4 so-called dissidents absented themselves, so the opposition was left shy of 4 votes.
4? Which one of them didn't? Because which one of them was there? Because 5, eh?
Well, the online report said 4.
As you raise that, how come we can't speak to Dennis Rambly yet? Because he has said other things since. How come we can't get him on the show yet?
I don't know. See our guest pulled out this morning.
Yet 5:48. Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I am not surprised either.
When you can't substantiate what you're saying, you need to not.
You need to say, shut up. Yeah. Exactly.
When you
but now I am totally lost, so you all need to clarify.
When you're saying things and you do have real evidence to support it.
Yeah,
what did
it
they
was
say?
in the chat, Richard, who our guest would have been.
I know who the guest was, but I didn't know what they said.
You didn't see what they said?
Well, they spoke about a recent incident where a member of parliament was allegedly attacked in the wee hours of the morning in the Tunapuna constituency. And there was a lot of speculation, a lot of mobile bacchanal circulating what actually happened. There is a purported police document, which I cannot independently verify. Actually, no, several, not Sona Wendell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are
several iterations of a police document, which adding things as it circulates, which I cannot independently verify. There's no police statement because the person in question did not make a statement. So unless you have documented evidence to support what you're saying or what you're alleging or the bacchanal that's being alleged, you're supposed to hush your mouth.
Yeah. But so Pastor Clive Dutton went on a platform and alleged that the MP for Tunapuna, St. Augustine, was with a bandit. That's his words. So his video circulated widely, and that Mrs. Prasad Bisesa have her on a platform talking about things when she shouldn't be. I thought it was in Portis. It was in Porty, and I mean, people might say I'm trying to defend Khadija. So, well, so be it, because I don't know. We don't know the circumstances.
It was an awkward situation that we don't have the facts to.
Exactly, but to go and make those allegations on a platform, people can carry on that way on social media. People doing it, they're saying all kind of things. Leave that for them. Why? You as a responsible pastor, somebody people respect and interview and talk and listen to and have on the platforms talking. You will go on a platform and say that?
When I said, but
I was waiting for him this morning,
On what basis are you making the statements that he made? Is it that he has verified documentation of what is purported to have happened? Because we interviewed Miss Amin. She said, quote unquote, she didn't want to talk much. She's consulting with her attorneys, her legal counsel, and she's not letting the matter rest. That's all the verifiable information I have.
Right.
I know something happened.
Social media was rife with all kind of different things.
Yes, I know something happened. I don't know what exactly happened.
Leave that for them. Pastor Dutton should never have gotten involved in that anyway.
But to make a definitive statement.
Oh, I didn't see it, so.
Without having.
This is news to me.
I got it and I refused to share it. I told people Friday I'm not sharing it. But it was shared widely.
Ragoobarsingh, do you have papers?
Absolutely, I do, Paul.
I got your note. How are you? He sent a note at 6:21. How are you this morning? Oh, by the way, it was 5 people who upset themselves. I think MP Anita Haynes is the only one who seemingly sent an excuse to the chair. But it's interesting that the 5 absented themselves in the wake of an impending vote. Things that make you go.
UNC is going to suffer the same way they suffered before. That's all. But guess what? They won't lose a single vote in any of those areas. Not one.
Ragoobarsingh, will you share the papers with us?
Yes, I can. So I'll start with the Daily Express for this morning. And of course, it is Monday, April 29th, 2024. And the main headline on the Daily Express, standoff, constitutional impasse in the making. That's the headline. Auditor General dispatches legal letter to Finance Minister calling for retraction of false statements made against her regarding TNT's 2023 accounts. And there is a picture of the 2 parties side by side. 3-year health horror, remove this stent from inside me. That's also a subheadline on the front page of the Daily Express this morning. And on the back page of the Daily Express, West Indies women win again. Matthew Stars' as Caribbean team takes 2-0 lead in T20 series. Monster Jam. Is what accompanies the picture as the Philadelphia 76ers, and Kelly Oubre Jr. goes up for a dunk against the New York Knicks during the first half. This print is terrible. It's like it just leaked ink all over it. Of the NBA Eastern Conference. City keep pressure on Gunners and West Indies A-level series. All of that is on the back page. Moving on to the Newsday for today. On the front page of the Newsday, what did the Newsday go with as a headline? I'll tell you. Auditor General hits back at government is the headline. Legal letter, billions in revenue unverified. The main picture is a picture of, what the hell is this a picture of? Wildfowl, Errol Bailey portrays rebellious yardfowl at the Bocas Lit Fest Old Mass competition, Denali, Port of Spain, on Saturday. And so there is a picture of him portraying a rebellious yardfowl. Fire Service Association roasts Hines. That's a subheadline on the front page this morning. And on the back page, all-round captain stars in T20 versus Pakistan. Matthews puts Windies ahead 2-0. Fraser gets silver at Caribbean Youth Table Tennis Championships. All of that is on the front and back page of the Newsday. And on to the final daily in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago this morning. What headline did the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian go with? Clear the air, Ember. That's the headline, and it's a quote. Auditor General sends a legal letter to Finance Minister and the AG, demands retraction of statements made in Parliament. Opposition leader threatens to sue PM over fiasco. So if you thought it wasn't going to get political, it definitely is, according to some of the headlines this morning. Angry UNC supporters call for dissidents to go. And the main picture is deep in prayer. Faizabad MP Dr. Lakram Bodo left, and Orpuj West MP Davindranath Tanku and Karni East MP Dr. Rishad Sicharan bow their heads in prayer during the UNC's 35th anniversary interfaith service and awards function held at the UNC headquarters, Mulchan Sivchan Road in Chagonas yesterday. So it's a lot of bowed heads, and as the main picture on the front page of the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. Cemeteries to close as they run out of space. That's also a subheadline on the front page.
Cemeteries where?
They didn't, well, it's just a headline I'm reading, so you're telling me go inside the newspapers. Is that what you want me to? All right.
Well,
to tell you. Okay, there's several cemeteries that they're looking at. Anyway, on the back page, Wendy's Level Nepal series, and that's it. That's all you need to know for the 3 dailies in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago today.
So we're now going to Paul's Power Poll.
Well, let's get the results of our poll from Friday. Before we do that, of course, on Friday, we asked you, do you expect positive changes to West Indies cricket after the 2-day conference? That was our poll. Results after this.
Know and reduce your risk. Do you know the hazards around your home, your work, or where you traverse regularly? Are you prone to impacts caused by hazards like flooding, landslides, high winds, rough seas, or bushfires? All of these can affect your household, business, or place of worship during a disaster. Remember, it's not just your home. You must also consider the hazards where you work or regularly travel. For example, your home may be at risk of a flood, but while driving to work, you might be at risk of a landslide. Do you know everyone, as in all of Trinidad and Tobago, is at risk of earthquakes, tsunamis, or even an explosion? Plan ahead in order to reduce your risk before, during, and after a crisis, an emergency, or when disaster strikes. Follow us on the ODPM's social media pages to learn more on how you can be prepared, be secured, and be ready.
All right. Thank you, ODPM. Again, our poll from Friday, the results. Do you expect positive changes to West Indies cricket after the 2-day conference? 78% said no.
Wow.
Just a program note, later on this afternoon, you can join Denise Deming at 4 on Hard Talk. Our guest is Professor Brian Copeland. She's talking steel pan and innovation and monetization of our national instrument. So you can join Denise Deming at 4:10 this afternoon on Hard Talk.
Right.
Steve, check
Just as an aside, of course, today is International Dance Day. Just, seeing all of the dancers and stuff that I know. Happy International Dance Day and choreographers.
Well, I only know the dirty dancers on America Dance.
All right, let's get into this morning's poll.
I have a kind of...
The dissidents or the Auditor General? You had to go either way.
The big story is the Auditor General.
Or the shark.
It's a bit of a softish poll this morning.
No surprise there.
How would you know?
Well,
and it depends on what people think. Do you think the Auditor General should revise the audited report to the Parliament as being requested by the Minister of Finance?
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
Well,
but it's soft, so I'm cool with it.
Is that okay?
Yes.
I forget to make up. I'm supposed to put up a new banner.
Richard, I hear your face.
This show is rated R for adults only.
Do you think the Auditor General should revise her audited reports to the Parliament as it is being requested by the Minister of Finance or Ministry of Finance?
Ministry, same thing.
Minister. So do you think the Auditor General should revise her audited report to the Parliament as is being requested by the Minister of Finance? That's our poll this morning. And of course, you should be apprised of the story to some degree from us talking.
It is to reflect just about $3 billion additional revenue, not accounted for.
$2.6 to $2.7 billion. Yeah. So
yes,
do you think the Auditor General should revise her audited report to the Parliament as requested by the Minister of Finance? That's our poll this morning. 222-TALK, 222-8255. North Americans, absolutely toll free to you at 866-525-1099. People on all our streaming platforms, you can send your vote via the messaging portal there. And if you are watching us on television or listening to us on smart devices, including your phone and the app, you can also send a WhatsApp for your vote at 868-318-1021. I feel like I have to repeat it. 868-318-1021. Let the voting begin.
All right. So let's get that going.
You have quite a few votes already.
Yeah, now scrolling up. Double checking. Boy Bedesi, right. Boy Bedesi, no. Josie Richardson, no. Anthony Franco, yes. Lester Craigwell, no to the poll. Patricia Naidu, no. Jean Clark, yes. Julia Espetis, no. Hector, no. Michael Robinson, out in Yokohama, Japan, no. And morning to you who's watching us, who's one of the panelists that came down to our shores for Carnival. Morning to you. Thank you so much for watching us. Wendy and Jay, okay. I have no control over that, Wendy and James. Beauty culture, no. Kenny out in Harlem, yes to the poll. Let's see. All right. Good morning to you, Val. We stream on channel 20 on Digicel. All right. Cascade St. Anne's says no. JAW says yes.
That is Jack Austin Warner.
No.
So do you think the Auditor General should revise her audited report to the Parliament as being requested by the Minister of Finance? That's our poll this morning. Of course, that story is on the front page of all of the dailies this morning. What says you? 222-TALK, 222-8255, North Americans, 866-525-1099, absolutely toll-free. People on all our streaming platforms, Facebook,
We apologize.
Instagram,
We're not on
LinkedIn.
television. We're working on the
You can
technical
send your
television this morning.
via. Oh, what's that?
Didn't hear anything there.
There's a technical issue with the television. We apologize. The stream should be up in a while.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
All
Right. So people on our streaming platforms, you can also vote via the messaging portals there. And you can also WhatsApp us wherever you are on 318-1021. Put the 868 code before it. So 868 before our WhatsApp numbers.
All right. We have a call. Good morning. Thanks for holding.
My answer is yes. That happened to my organization in Florida 3 years ago. And we issued our statement to the state. The state did their audit. They came back and my CFO made an error. And we went back to the state and said, listen, could you revise your statement and give us a qualified statement? The state looked at it. We issued their statement and they put language. I'm jogging, so forgive me. And they put language in their statement saying this was based on additional information received after the fact. So to me, that's a standard practice. And I think it's just being politicized in Trinidad. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
According to what Paul said, I think Paul was saying that the Auditor General in a letter is not saying that she would, Paul, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is saying that she's not including it because it's not being justified.
She said she didn't receive documents to substantiate the claims by the minister.
Okay, something like that.
So it might mean that the documents are somewhere around.
Well, possibly, which they can now provide.
But
Because
But
if
you should have a
Minister-
documentary trail.
If you know Minister Imbert, he is very meticulous. Eh?
Well, he didn't pick it up initially. It was public servants who picked it up. And the public servants reported it to the Minister of Finance. It said, look, there is an error in this, wasn't included in terms of this additional revenue. And apparently it was something to do with the clearing of checks and stuff that took a little while to come into the system. The ACH, I think it is. So that's what happened. A version of that is what has happened.
Yeah. Royalty Forever says no. Alistair Hard says yes. Beauty Culture is asking a question. He or she didn't vote.
So do you think the Auditor General should revise audited reports to the Parliament as is being requested by the Minister of Finance? That's our poll this morning. What says you?
All right. Keep voting. Keep voting. We give results right after our 7 o'clock news, which is being brought to you courtesy Genesco Appliances. Save 8% on both their 7 cubic foot freezer fridge and 30-inch stainless steel rotisserie stove. Genesco Appliances.
This is your news bulletin, from Power 102 Digital.
Auditor General Jaiwanti Ramdas fires back at the Finance Minister and the AG over erroneous statements made in Parliament about her audited report on the nation's finances. Government will not foot the bill for PAHO team probing premature deaths of babies in Trinidad. Several beaches in Tobago remain closed following shark attack on British national. Guanabal landfill closed after fire, and more than 40 killed in Kenya after dam bursts. Details in a moment. This is News 2, 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Santel Bab. Good morning. Auditor General Jaiwanti Ramdas has fired back at Finance Minister Com Imbert and Attorney General Reginald Amour via a pre-action protocol letter over alleged erroneous statements made in Parliament last Friday about her audited report on the nation's finances. Ramdas, in the legal letter, called on Imbert to retract statements made in Parliament, clear the air, and set the public record straight. Last Friday, a government motion to extend the time to present information to the Auditor General was passed in Parliament after Minister Imbert said Ramdas allegedly refused to accept information seeking to correct a $2.6 billion understatement of TNT's revenue for 2023. Ramdas, in the pre-action protocol letter, explained that 2 months after the Ministry of Finance submitted the public accounts on January 31st, 2024, she was advised that they had made a significant error, whereby the ministry was now claiming that the government's revenue was understated by over $3.3 billion. The Auditor General indicated that the ministry wanted to amend the national accounts to reflect this higher revenue figure. However, she said the ministry admitted that whilst it could account for some of this money, the sum of $780,499,791.21 could not be accounted for. Ramdas said she received the amended national account, but noted that there was no amendment to reflect the increase in the revenue figure. She expressed concern that the ministry had also backdated the amended account. Ramdas took Imbert to task for explaining that it was completely untrue to suggest that she did not audit the increased revenue figure. She indicated that she did, in fact, conduct a special audit. However, the ministry could not produce any supporting documentation to substantiate and verify the alleged $3 billion increase in revenue. The government of Trinidad and Tobago will not foot the bill for the 3-member Pan American Health Organization team's investigation into the deaths of 7 babies at the Port of Spain General Hospital's neonatal intensive care unit. This was confirmed by Health Minister Terence Deyalsingh. The probe stems from the deaths of the babies due to a bacterial infection at the NICU between April 9th or 4th and 9th, according to the NWRHA. The PAHO team, Professor Nalini Singh, a pediatrician from the George Washington University in the U.S., Dr. Grizel Rodriguez, head of the microbiology at Centro de Ascensista Médico Soriano in Uruguay, and Dr. Jillian Birchwood, a newborn intensive care specialist and head of the neonatal care intensive unit at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Barbados, had completed their investigation and met with ministry officials. Minister Deyalsingh added that he was pleased that the 3 experts got unfettered access to everything, which included touring of the NICU and viewing of its equipment, and that health workers were also cooperating with them. Media reports say several beaches in Tobago remain closed. This is the situation even though there have been no further sightings of a bull shark which viciously attacked a British tourist last week Friday. Director of the Tobago Emergency Agency, Alan Stewart, reportedly told a daily newspaper, "While we were working towards the reopening of the beaches, protocols need to be put in place, and therefore by Monday, we are hoping to do a reassessment of those protocols to make sure that everything is set for the reopening." An emergency meeting was held on Sunday to discuss the authorities' response to the incident, the crisis communication plan, and beach surveillance. Stewart said TEMA, along with other stakeholders, are focusing on restoring confidence in marine interests. Meanwhile, reports say the 64-year-old British tourist who was attacked by a bull shark recently remains in stable condition. His left hand was severed from the elbow down, his left thigh severely injured, and he was bitten on the stomach. On Sunday, Tobago House of Assembly Secretary for the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith B. Israel, said Mr. Smith continues to improve and he remains stable at the ICU in the hospital. The medical team continues to collaborate with his family to determine the best course of action going forward, she said. The Trinidad and Tobago Solid Waste Management Company Limited has revealed that the Guanapole landfill was closed on Sunday following a fire which began on Saturday. Swimcall said due to the nature and location of the fire, the landfill was closed. All waste haulers who utilized the site were directed to other landfills. Swimcall also advised people living in nearby communities, especially those with respiratory conditions, to exercise caution because of the level of smoke emanating from the landfill. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. Well, further afield, more than 40 people have died in Kenya after a dam burst following heavy rains and flooding, according to officials. Homes were swept away and roads were cut off after the dam burst in Kamachiri village in western Kenya. 42 dead. It's a conservative estimate. There are still more on the ground. Nakuru County Governor Susan Kihika told the AFP news agency more than 100 people have been killed in floods that have devastated parts of Kenya in the last month. Rescue teams are digging through the mud in search of survivors in the village near the small town of Maimakiu, some 60 kilometers or 37 miles from the capital, Nairobi, according to local officials. Well, finally, here is a weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, generally hot and sunny, despite the chance of a few partly cloudy intervals with showers, especially during the afternoon, and favoring western areas of Trinidad. Tonight will be generally fair. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 32 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, the temperature at Piarco International Airport is 27 degrees Celsius, or rather 25 degrees Celsius. It is 27 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, Auditor General Jaiwanti Ramdas fires back at the Finance Minister and the AG over erroneous statements made in Parliament about her audited report on the nation's finances. Government will not foot the bill for Power team probing premature deaths of babies in Trinidad. Several beaches in Tobago remain closed following sharp attack on British national. Guanapole landfill closed after fire, and more than 40 killed in Kenya after dam bursts. I'm Avril Sintel-Bab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon and an update at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Of course, your 7 a.m. newscast was brought to you courtesy Genesco Appliances. Mom deserves the best with Genesco Appliances. They have just that. They have just that for her this Mother's Day with our appliances that boast double the features. Save 8% on both our 7 cubic foot freezer, fridge, and 30-inch stainless steel rotisserie stove this Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day from Genesco Appliances.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you, AV. Thank you, Genesco Appliances, for our major news. Of course, you can join AV again come 8 o'clock for our news brief. All right. Let me just tell you what's happening traffic-wise. There is an accident in the vicinity of Sugargournas. All right. And apparently all the lanes are closed off. A tractor trailer jackknife, a flatbed jackknife, and a car running into it. So that is northbound. If you're taking the highway, you Solomon, you're going to get some traffic. You're going to get a lot of traffic. Taking the southern main road, if you decide to do that, it is heavy. The Ibis Gardens and extension heading towards Cura. All right, but you got traffic northbound and, of course, usual southbound, Piarco towards Yui, and then you'll speed up but slow down volume as you head towards Barataria. Eastern Main Road is busy through Tacarigua. Champlain, Mount Hope, heading to Mova Junction. All right, Maraval, Diego Martin, it's heavy. All right, so that's a quick traffic update for you.
That is chaos in the Southland, South Central land.
Yeah.
With all 4 lanes blocked off. My goodness.
Well, I just got a picture of it, so I guess the TDPS will have to do what they have to do.
All right, so just a couple things before we get
Sexy San Fernando says no to the poll. Let me just do some of that. You did Alistair Hart.
Yeah.
Rena Booty Jennings says
Beauty Culture changed their vote.
Okay.
From no to yes.
Rena Booty Jennings says yes. Slick Money Grip says yes. Eve out in Sugar Guana this morning. Eve said no. And as I said, Sexy San Fernando says no to the poll. Slick Money Grip says yes.
Well, it was a very close poll.
I realize that.
Yeah, actually, it was even until those last 2 votes.
Okay.
So the score is 11 saying no, 9 saying yes. 11. So today's PSPP polls soft power poll is 11 people said no, that the Auditor General should not revise her report, and 9 saying yes, she should. All right, we'll soon have a sponsor for the power poll, for Paul's power poll. Well, if it will I have a PSPP or a PHPP?
Brought to you by Ginseng Up or Viagra.
Well,
could you try to call Mariana Brown?
I know I messaged him. I haven't gotten a response yet.
It could be sponsored by Love is a Walk. Love is a Walk, which is on this weekend, Saturday 8:30 and Sunday 6:30 at Cipriani College. If you have not received or gotten your tickets as yet, what are you waiting on? So we expect to be sold out this weekend in Cipriani College, so get your tickets early. I mean, the word of mouth is phenomenal with regard to this play. So get your tickets. Tickets are available at all the usual outlets, and the box office at Cipriani College opens from Wednesday this week, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. You can check RSRR Productions Theatre on all social media for further information, including how to purchase tickets online. A lot of people do purchase online. In fact, last time we had Cipriani College, we had to suspend online sales. Basically, online sales were sold out because it was just so many people purchasing online. So get your tickets early.
All right.
Oliver Man Warren is saying the traffic in that area with the accident by Sugar Guanas on the Uriah Butler is horrendous.
I would imagine.
Yeah, he said the other two.
This hour morning.
Apparently, is it that today's the 20th of April? So May is starting. And I got a call from 2 media houses over the weekend asking me what I thought of the prospects of the Commissioner of Police and how she performed in the last year. I said, why are you calling me for that?
2 media houses calling you?
Yeah. I said, why? Because I'm the JSC and I posed questions.
Listen to the Power
I said you need to refer to the Police Service Commission.
No, tell them listen to the Power Breakfast Show. You'll give your opinion there.
The Commissioner of Police's performance. They have their special metrics as to whether she should be reinstated. I have no role in that. So that's the Police Service Commission.
You're not here.
And then after that, if I don't know what the process is, and I guess by extension the government.
I'm sure we are going to end up with a Stephen Williams scenario where short extensions are continuing to give until they sort themselves out. I'm sure that's what we'll end up with,
But she's substantive, no?
She is. But they still have to extend it.
Which they could do for the same thing they did last time when she turned 60.
Yeah. But
if they're satisfied with her performance, the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security are both on public record saying that they have no problem with her performance. I'm paraphrasing here.
But obviously, they're not moving ahead with the current commissioner. Otherwise, the ad wouldn't have come out.
No, I think the ad might have been standard, man.
I don't think so. I think if you're doing a search, I had search, and if you were prepared to already extend somebody for a further period as the current office holder, you could have done that. You don't have to put an ad. But it may either you're putting an ad, obviously, earlier here what Christopher has actually indicated that she's no longer interested in an extension, or the state has decided, look, let's properly fill the post with somebody who is age appropriate.
Or that they are exercising due diligence and widening it to any other potential persons
in the Caribbean.
In Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know.
I think it went up the Caribbean too.
In terms of the ad, is there because it's a pensionable position? Is it how they determine it? Are they determining it as a contract position or a pensionable position?
I'm not sure, but they could also be saying
because if it's contract, then age doesn't matter.
If it's a
pensionable position.
Mm-hmm. If she is one of several potential persons, and they're just widening it to see if anybody who they deem more qualified and or experienced may offer themselves in a full assessment of those who are putting themselves up for the position.
But wasn't it opened up to other people in the Caribbean too? Wasn't it opened up to
the changed so much I can't remember, to be real honest.
I really don't know because when there have been so many amendments.
Yeah, they changed
and
so much.
They reference the amendments in the ad. And I'm like, well, should you not just state exactly what the requirements are? Because you're not so sure, is it that you have to be a serving police officer, for example? Or is it that you don't have to be a serving police officer, but have the commensurate qualification or certifications in law enforcement or criminal law analysis or whatever it is that they require? I don't know. I'm not sure because I remember at one point they changed it so that you had to be a serving police officer.
Right.
And so I'm not sure that still holds.
Which is what they said was used to disqualify Gary.
Right.
And then that changed. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's changed or not.
But I remember, Jaron Joseph, if you're listening, send me the information. Because I remember having a discussion with someone who said they should find someone from Jamaica who apparently, because of the crime situation in Jamaica and how they are dealing with it there. Someone and I was just having a discussion. He said, they should get somebody from Jamaica. So I think it has been opened up to people in the Caribbean, other people in the Caribbean. I stand corrected, but I'm sure someone who's listening will be able to message. Adande or Jaron, or you people who I know do these researches at the drop of a pin. Send the information to anyone on the show to deal with that. But I think Miss Christopher, I don't know that she want to continue with this mess that she inherited, no?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure what's going on.
Because she has gone very quiet lately. As a matter of fact, I'm not even seeing her in the
She's
public.
gone quiet?
No, she was at one point in time, you used to see her attending certain things and making certain, but she's just gone very quiet.
As you brought up Ministry of Works in an indirect way there, I think those new cameras that they have on the highway, the AI-powered cameras, I think they are, that analyzes the traffic flows and switches green, depending on the flow of traffic, switches to green to favor that side. I think, in my experience in interfacing with those junctions, it seems to be working to me. I don't know if you all have analyzed it at all.
No,
you probably don't analyze these things, but I did at the various junctions because it's actually on all of those. It actually is on several of those traffic light intersections on your way to Arima.
Okay.
It's on at like 4 of them. So I did analyze looking at the traffic at the various points that I passed, and it did seem to be working, in my opinion. I mean, I
only get on that highway when it's traffic free. I fear traffic. Sorry. So I wouldn't be able to analyze it if I'm there 10 o'clock in the night or 3 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't be able to analyze it. But I can tell you one light that they need to fix is that light by South Key the edge of South Key going onto Wrightson Road. Because most times when you get the green to exit South Key onto Wrightson Road, you're backing up into traffic because of the lights down by Hyatt and the lights a little further ahead by the Parliament. It causes a backup there. So you're exiting there, one car or two cars. Sometimes you have to squeeze down the side just to get out of South Key. That there needs a fix. That I can tell you that.
Shall we open the phones?
Yeah, we shall.
Yeah, we can do that.
I wanted to also say something, because I saw a comment earlier on about Pastor Dutton on this show and how we didn't interrupt him. Well, maybe I wasn't on the show today because people know when people go after people, I interrupt them. Regardless.
Wendell, we have challenged Pastor Dutton on several of the things he said that he couldn't substantiate.
Right. But I also wanted to add, you remember at a time, MP for Lavantil, Lavantil East Mover, Adrian Leons. There was talk swirling and they put it in the newspaper and he sued them and he win. You understand? You can't just go about the place saying what you want about people because you don't like them. You don't
agree that, but even not like because you see something on social media or in the papers.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That you cannot independently verify.
Yeah, you can't do that. So I was happy when Adrian Leons took them to court and won. And if Khadija Amin does the same, I'll be happy for her too. You cannot just go about saying what you want about people.
Yeah. All right, let's have a couple of calls coming through. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Steve, before I give my contribution, Channel 20, as I asked, Channel 20 and working.
Yeah, it's not on this morning. They're having some technical issues.
Right, okay. So good morning, Dr. Paul.
Good morning, my dear.
Good morning, Wendell, and good morning, Richard.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
So this morning, from since Friday, when all the incidents with the shark, with all these bull shark, there was a man, a marine expert on TV6, who they interviewed. And let me tell you something. I don't know not more of these things, but when that man finished speaking, I was so clear that Fari Augustine didn't have a clue as to why he gave that bounty. And I have a feeling that he watched that same newscast and decided to withdraw that $10,000. And you know what I found strange? He kind of put any blame on some other people, He kind of wants to nice it up and he's not taking wrong for wrong. They always say he apologized. But he apologized to me, but yet still want to blame the other fisher people. Because he say, they want to jump in a boat and everybody goes to try to kill the shark, which he, expert say is not the best thing to do. So at least he will join the bounty and a good sense prevailed. Because there would have been a mass bloodshed in that water, but what kind of shark might have died? Anyway, that was that part. Now, next point. When I heard something that was coming up to the assessor said that the government is trying to get rid of the Auditor General. I say, look, our next story going to bring up political thing that interfere with an independent body. And then here this morning at the pre-action protocol was issued, the thing now starts. So to me, from now until 2025, you'll have a lot of pre-action things that are not supposed to be political will turn into politics and all of these drama. So we are to kind of put up with it now or kind of shut our ears to it. And the final point, Wendell, Pastor Justin, I saw that in the news as well, and he's not one of my favorite people, I don't care, because I find his makeup things. I said, what are you talking about? Where you get that information? How you could go on talking about crime and bring out people saying that you don't even know if it's true. So I find he should apologize. Because he always calling people and the government to do this and the other. He should follow suit now.
Yep.
Richard, I went to the 2 years ago and it was boss. I laughed my belly full. Normally I sleep around that time, but I was wide awake. So you're a baby.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Let me thank Jaron Joseph and let me read the Police Service Commission. Commissioner of Police. The Police Service Commission is seeking to appoint a suitably qualified Trinidad and Tobago national to the Office of Commissioner of Police in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Ministry of National Security, and is inviting applications to fill the position. So it is restricted to nationals of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you very much, Jaron. I know I can depend on you.
Good morning.
It's changed so many times.
Yeah.
Good morning.
morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, morning.
Just a comment on the matter between the between the state and the auditor general. And it's disappointing at times when it is that the media do not give context to the story at times. I think listening to the Parliament channel, that issue, whereby the Attorney General went and gave timeline of the interaction between the Office of the Minister of Finance and the Auditor General, and actually showed on numerous occasions where she refused and even indicated under law, well, question this thing about independence of state, whereby, and he went in particular to the Exchequer Act, I believe, where he stated that she is mandated under law to receive those revised copies. And so in the discussion this morning, I get it was probably inferred that she was in right to do that. And it's only after the pre-action protocol was sent in by the Attorney General when he was the Minister of Finance to seek his advice pertaining to the issue that she responded likely and asked for counsel from the Attorney General, which is kind of bizarre to me. Right? The paper gives the context that he is the Minister of Finance. Minister of Finance do not publish, do not do these reports. It is senior public officials within the Ministry of Finance, the Controller of Accounts, all those are the individuals that on numerous occasions realized that there was an error in the figures that was provided and seek through the Auditor General for revision. And she actually instructed personnel under her position not to receive the report. So I think that if possible, because the records will reflect that in Parliament, you get the response from the Attorney General and the Minister of Finance in the roundup, and you would have seen where her actions was a bit bizarre. Right? Thanks.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good
There's so
morning.
much to cover this morning. But Steve, is Paul here?
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Paul. I wanted to stand by for this because it's a rare time you would hear this. Steve, I want to not disagree with you. I agree with part of what you're saying. Calling the police you should not be placed on hold for 6 minutes.
And that's what I said.
However, based on the situation, I think you may have called the wrong department. That was a medical emergency. The police don't necessarily deal with medical emergencies unless it involves the police, like a shooting or something like that. I think it would have been more suitable to call 990, the ambulance services or whatever it is. That doesn't take away from the fact that if you call them, you should not be placed on hold for 6 minutes. So in defense of the police, I feel you call the wrong agency.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
Paul,
my point was
this morning.
that my point was 6 minutes.
Yes. Okay,
That was my
that
point.
was your main issue.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm agreeing with that. You should not be placed on hold for 6 minutes if you call the police, no matter what the situation is.
And they
I'm
never
agreeing
showed
with
up.
that 100%. And they still never showed up. Richard, I came to see the play. I saw it. It was indeed fantastic. I must concur with the female caller I called before. I have some visiting friends that is coming this week, so I have to bring them again to see it again. So I'll be seeing it.
Richard set up a PR campaign today, boy.
Yeah.
But the part of the play that only lapsed on Richard. I don't know if it's a deliberate thing or not, but when the guy sneaked into the room, he never came out. So I don't know if it was deliberately done, but you never see him came out. The scene changed and everything like that, but you never see him came out.
Don't talk about the play
you
now.
would not see him come out because it went to the end of that scene.
Richard, I have to see the play.
All right, that's all I'm saying. Right, gentlemen, I want to criticize you all. You all not leaving room for your supporters. and giving this time, the whole of last week was just taken up by interviews and whatnot. You all not given any interactive room, right? So I want to just mention that. Okay, have a nice day, gentlemen.
All right, buddy.
Thanks a lot,
Good morning.
Yes, morning.
Morning.
Yeah, morning. Three things quickly. I heard Oli was talking about Pastor Dutton this morning. I don't know, but Pastor Dutton does not. Somehow he doesn't impress me. I tell you why. No, the kind of position he is put forward is to me his actions don't really totally back the things that he says, because he don't really call us. He always broad brushing. He don't call a spade, something specific. He just brush it over and include everybody. I don't like. I find that is something with him that he does, and he doesn't really know. To me, he doesn't really know where it stands with him. The next thing is the police commissioner. I would love to see them bring Wayne Head and make him police commissioner. And lastly,
under Dr. Rowley government, you want open war?
I heard there was talking about this thing with Paho and talking to the parents of the babies. You see, there's a kind of sensationalizing thing. Paho will talk to medical people. The parents, that is a legal approach. So Paho can't talk to parents. Paho want to talk to the medical people. But these lawyers and them way smelling money. They have this thing, making this thing a whole football, along with this next political party. They are
So what you saying? You're saying you don't think Paho should interview the parents of the children who died?
No, you see, okay, I don't think so. Why I don't think so is because Paho is medical. Now they're not medical people. These parents. I mean,
so you don't think their experiences through the course of
medical people.
So can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
So in addition to interviewing the medical people and the technical people and the nurses, you don't think the experiences of the parents who, in the case of the mother, who would have gone through the C-section in some cases right there and had an experience for 4, 5, 2 days, 10 days is material in a full investigation?
Well, probably. Probably.
It's probably no. Okay.
You see. Well, to me, Paho, the investigation Paho doing is a medical. Okay. These things that these babies does go into. This is something for babies who stand a 50, 60, 80, 20, 60, 40 chance of living. Normal baby don't go in that.
You're talking the incubator, right?
Yes. Normal babies don't go in. These babies who not developed properly, and babies who stand a chance to die, and they try to save them in that.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think the parents' experience is material? Okay.
If they have to do a thorough investigation, caller, I think they have to interview everybody. That's not.
I thought I was crazy to think so.
Yeah.
But we could ask the question tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know how my child died in the NICU under what I know in some people's estimation. A whole investigation is initiated by the government, bringing international experts, qualified experts, and you are telling me that the parents' experience and testimony is immaterial. That's interesting.
Well, he is saying because they're not medical, but I don't agree with that. They have to be interviewed.
I understand. I accept that. But
that is an astounding perspective.
No, well, he has accepted it, Paul.
He has?
Yeah, he said he has accepted it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I accept you. But when
my child died, and I understand there are 6 other parents in this cluster between the 4th and the 9th of April who died. The common thread is bacterial sepsis. And my experience and my evidence and what I saw in terms of the interaction, I wouldn't be there all the time because parents don't stay all the time, but certainly while I'm there, it's immaterial because I'm not medically trained. Okay.
All right.
Always seem that we can understand sense, but I hold my position.
No, I ain't making no sense at all. I thinking crazy.
No,
Paul.
Isn't that Pa who says that they're not interviewing the parents?
Thank you, caller.
No, the caller is suggesting that they don't need to because it's not. But he has accepted Paul's argument. So let's move on.
My argument?
Well, he has accepted your position, your logic, your analysis, your thesis.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, caller.
Morning. I have a question based on something you all read this morning. It wasn't totally clear. Does the application for Commissioner of Police, is it open to John public or is it police officers?
Oh, Lord. Lincoln, I'll go and send it for you now.
Just
Well,
repeat it.
Lincoln, I just send it for you. It's for Trinidad and Tobago Nationals.
But I think it qualifies.
The qualifications and experience, which is what you're talking about, Lincoln. Training as evidenced by the possession of a master's degree from a university recognized by the ministry responsible for higher education in any of the following: law, criminal justice, criminology, police service management, or any other relevant degree, and no less than 15 years experience of increasing responsibility in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. That means you have to show that you get promoted during that period also too. Increasing responsibility means a progress of promotions and so on.
Right. So it isolates that to people in either policing or military or any kind of thing to do with
law enforcement. But law enforcement.
I feel you want to apply.
Yeah. Thanks, Lincoln.
Law enforcement organization. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
I feel you want to apply.
To John Public.
All right.
I feel you want to apply though.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Morning.
So Wendell, I was listening to a program yesterday or one night it was where Dr. Manning, you were talking about it?
Petronella Manning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was giving a discourse about the children and them in the hospital who die and things.
A discourse?
And they make it.
So she was giving a discourse. I like the choice of words, vocabulary.
Yeah. And she was saying that they make this thing, which is supposed to be a medical issue, a political issue, and put more fear in people than anything else. Because she said working in this system like these, outbreaks and bacteria and all kind of things is a must. You can't get away from it. But it's how you deal with it, she said. You know?
Yeah.
And she said it's a big shame to see how I said a court case and I said a people and I said a thing getting and they don't understand not moving down yet.
No surprise there. No surprises there.
If you listen to the doctor, she said a lot of people who know nothing about these things jump up and start to give advice and start to give this and start to want to sue this one and sue that one. She said if you're working in these environments, you will have a clearer understanding of what is really went on there. Yes, what people are trying to say, doctors and nurses get up in the morning and just go to work and decide to kill people, baby.
Jaws has come to save us.
Thanks, Mr. Patrick.
All right.
All righty.
A shark decided, oh, what the hell is going on in Trinidad and Tobago? Let me go and cause a little bacchanal.
Good morning, caller.
Bite somebody.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
I'm very pleased to hear what Mrs. Manning Allen had to say, and also Dr. Khan that gave the perspective. You know, people believe that that preemie babies must live. They have to understand what the term means and what happens then. But what I want to take a different slant. I want the Minister of Health to look at the files of these mothers. Did they go to clinic? Were they attending clinic? What is the health of the mothers? Because I'll tell you something. I notice that we having plenty preemies being born now. What is the cause of that? Long ago, women used to make 10 and 14 children. And many of them used to have them at home. Now, I don't know. I see women pregnant and they're not wearing maternity clothes now. Some of them squeezing down their belly with their pants. Some of them
as you say that, when I saw the ministry release the data on the number of preemies per 1,000 births, I was actually a little surprised. So you may be onto something.
Something needs to be checked out with these mothers. Paul, I have a feeling that we don't too many different things out there. A lot of them, some of them very young, some of them they must be having a pregnancy, they must be fetting, drinking.
The mother is not the only person.
I am not saying that is what happened,
I don't know why. I don't know. The mother is not the only person responsible for bringing a child into this world. A lot of women are under extreme pressure.
Listen to me. I am saying something. The mother is responsible. She's pregnant. I am saying that there are so many preemie babies now that the Ministry of Health need to take a check on the health of the mother sometimes to see what really causing it. I'm not talking about the bacteria on that side of it, I am talking about having preemie babies.
The support system involves a family network and a father. The mother didn't just get pregnant just so.
What Zina is saying is that
I understand what Zina is saying. Basically, I understand what Zina is saying, but you see, I am using this opportunity to broaden that scope a bit. Because a lot of these mothers are under pressure because they have no support system.
Well, and I
think you're both right.
I am not saying no. That is why I am saying they need to examine a lot of the pregnant mothers to ram. That's why I'm saying I'm wondering if these people or these things happening to, do they attend clinics, right? And during the pregnancy, or is it that when you're ready, you're just in by the hospital and they don't have a file on you to know whether all the mothers in that case, whether you're hypertensive, whether you have diabetes, whether you have some other thing, or you didn't find out the whole background. Because
it's a lot to find out, as you know.
It almost seems like you want to shift some of the blame to the mothers. That's what it comes across.
That's how I read it first. That's why I intervened.
That's what it comes across. It comes across that way.
It has nothing to do with blame. I ain't shifting anything. I am saying the Ministry of Health, for the health part of it, has to take a look into why This is all I am saying. Why there are so many preemie babies. So I'm not really for understanding what I say.
Right, Zina, I understand you perfectly. I think you're saying
I understand, but
take the opportunity under these circumstances to do a wider scan about premature births in the country and what the factors may be that may be contributing to what seems to be an increase in premature births. That's basically what
yes,
I'm saying.
I'm not talking. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming anybody because long ago our parents had 10 and 12 and 14 and many of them were delivered home by
There are a lot more pollutants in this general atmosphere and a lot
well,
more.
and we need to maybe find, realize probably now what is really happening and for mothers to take more care of themselves when they're in that position.
Well
so
said.
I am blaming nobody.
Zina, I am not disagreeing with you. I'm just adding to it. I'm just adding to what you're saying. Because
all right.
You're right. There are a lot of
That's why I
mothers.
said you're both right. You're both right.
The support system, they're getting there's men who smoking,
all that will come in.
impregnating them.
All that will come in. All that will come in. All that would factor in if they're doing.
Zina's assessment is to be more holistic than just dealing with the issue at hand, which is important.
That's
but
right.
the wider issue.
But prior to these 7 babies dying, prior to these NICU deaths, the infant mortality and maternal mortality rate in Trinidad and Tobago had been decreased to a level that it has never been before. Even back to the days with people having 14 and 15 children. Our mortality rate had decreased in terms of the statistics.
Mortality
so
rate.
That's why these 7 deaths are unusual.
Premature deaths. Mortality rate doesn't only include premature births.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Paul, it would include everything.
Yes, you all have all the answers, so that's all right. Anything anybody else has to say does make sense.
But we
listened there
for the last half an hour.
So
I'm telling you, Paul, go deal with that now. Paul, deal with that now.
Zina.
It's rubbing off from Paul.
Zina.
Yes.
You hearing me? Did you hear someone reference you on Friday?
Pardon me, if I heard what?
They're talking about big dangerous cats on Friday, and
And I heard you quite well. When they I don't know what kind of question Wendell put forward. So
I said lions and tigers, they were but big, And then all of a sudden after that, somebody dangerous cats, shark bite people.
Wendell asked about dangerous cats. If all cats are dangerous, heard the conversation and I how you ball out the name. I was wondering what you call me for. What you call my name for?
Because they were talking about dangerous cats. And then the shark bites somebody.
Well, I'm glad the conversation is.
Exactly. So you see how my question was on point? Just so a big catfish in the ocean.
You don't see out of time and when you're ready. What question and what point?
Because a shark is like a big catfish,
Yeah, you know all that. You know a lot about that. And a wonder. Ghana have plenty of them. Oh, good.
Yes, Ghana has catfish, yes. Is a coastal sitcom.
A shark is a bottom feeder, just like catfish.
Zina.
Yes.
You never hear about tiger shark?
I know. I have heard of all the sharks.
Exactly. So we must call your name. Have a good day, my love. Be a mod.
And it so happens it was a bull shark.
And you all too. Yeah, that's to show how the bull and them aggressive. Oh, good.
All the stars aligned over the weekend of what we were talking about. A bull shark ended up biting up a man in Tobago. All the stars aligned.
Good morning, caller.
Wait.
Want to
wait, hold on. Paul says wait.
To the issue of the bounty that went out. So during the course of the day, a bounty went out offering $10,000 for fishers, registered fishers who can help us capture, in quotation, the bull shark. what is required in some jurisdiction, they refer to it as rescuing the bull shark, meaning being able to remove it from where it can cause harm to individuals and put it in a place where it can't cause harm to individuals. And so, because there's so much confusion over the bounty that is out, I've asked for the ad to be retracted, effective immediately. And I've asked that the fishers work along with the Coast Guard, work along with the divers and other stakeholders to expertly man the area.
Fali wanted to send divers in the sea to capture a shark alive? Is that what you wanted?
And move it to a safer place.
You know what? You know what we should be able to play? High grade. You know the tune? High grade. High grade.
Gentlemen, let's grab this call. Good morning, caller. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Hey, Captain Ron, good morning.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah,
it's early morning for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, because my body still is not used to this West Coast time. I really don't like out here.
He's in LA today.
Listen, I'm not in agreement with one of the statements Dina made a while ago. Premature babies must live. Listen, my last son was premature, and when we were scared in New York, the nurses said to us, "Hey, we don't lose babies here. They have incubators and stuff like that." So these modern times, premature babies should live. We have incubators. So I don't think that is an excuse. I still feel that every rock must be overturned because we had in the history, as you guys know this, well know what I'm going to say here, that you have somebody by the name of Dr. Depp. He was killing people in different hospitals. If you don't know what's happening, you don't know. Everybody's just automatically jumping and saying that the place wasn't clean. And why is this happening just in that part of Trinidad and Tobago? That also, just one or so. Maybe there's somebody behind it. You just don't know. So then they need to check every angle. And this is the policeman had put that in my head last week. Why is it that the police are not taking that into account? Give everybody lie detector test. See who had contact with all these same babies. Right? Secondly, I need to know if the shark is wearing the same clothes that they're gonna go find it. How would
a tattoo? Shark had a tattoo.
And shark is
it's a distinguishing tattoo. And an ID card.
Good to hear you guys early in the Monday morning. It's really nice hearing you guys. I know I'm back in a normal world. Thank you.
Yeah.
Listening on.
Thanks, Captain Ron. They was looking for the mugshot, Paul.
Shark named Andre.
Morning, is this Andre?
By the man.
Yeah.
Andre, is that you?
No, it is not. It is not.
Okay.
I want to know which part Fali want to put a shark.
That's safe.
A 10-foot shark, yeah?
Where you want to put that way?
In a swimming pool near you.
Richard, I just called back to tell you something that I didn't get to tell you. What is I don't know if you have any idea, or if anyone of you have any idea. What is expressed as a percentage? What are the chances of a baby going in the NICU of surviving? What are the chances? And how many within the period that we had these deaths? Not downplaying the death because one death is too much. But how many babies would have survived? And the next thing is, one of the reasons why I was talking about the interviewing the mothers is that when you was interviewing the guy, I felt a lot for him, and you asked him, you was trying your best and talking to him in a hearing your voice in a very tough way, and you ask him, what did the lawyers tell you? And his tone changed. He said, I couldn't tell you that. No. To me, I think that these lawyers could talk to these people before they talk to Paho And since they're looking for money, these people could say anything. That was one of the reasons why I thought that Paho shouldn't talk to the parents themselves and they talk to the medical people. Because you see, it's a legal thing and they're looking for money. And if they talk, because remember the lawyers come to them. They may go to the lawyers, so them for see pro bono money, you know. So the lawyers come to them, bring it to them, and all of them say that. Most of them that I would say mention that. So that was the point in really looking at it from that angle. Not putting aside. I still taking it away. But that was that I forget to mention. Thank you, sir.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
High grade. They're smoking it.
Right, let's take our final call.
They're
Good
blazing
morning.
it in Tobago now.
Morning, caller.
Good morning. Good morning to all the good gentlemen.
AALA. I see you give us up.
Good morning. Nah, man. Good morning, Mr. Steve Khan. Good morning, Mr. Dr. Paul Richard. Good morning, Mr. Wendell.
Good morning.
Morning, LA.
How you guys doing? Richard, congratulations on our new Playboy. Love is our work. I try to figure out sometimes you just come up with the correct name for them Playboys. Real good too. Word on it, I hear it's real good. I ain't speak, but I hear real good. So,
we have excellent reviews on the play. Excellent.
Wendell, sir, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, Ellie. Good to hear you, man.
Wendell, I think we need you back in the council for the thing, but
No.
I think we heard it the first time.
No way.
Wendell, how much time we say no, boy? We need you back in that council.
Plenty, it's all right. I can do it. The only way I'm going back in that council is as mayor.
Oh, but that's the only position I want to go back as. No other position.
Exactly. So I'm making it almost impossible for me to go back.
I just hope I never know. Wendell, when Mr. Imwood not there anymore, I think you'll be the first person to be back there.
Mayor, so you are well equipped to be a mayor.
Of course.
Dr. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, and your good self.
I'm pretty good. You know, everything has challenges, but then everything for the most part is good. I just put locks on and listen. I don't always listen. Sometimes I don't call him, but I always listen. You guys stay blessed and enjoy the day, man.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
All right,
what's the weather like in LA these days, huh?
Oh, the weather nice these days. When you can make a trip early, boy.
I want to pretty soon. I have some friends out there. So I probably will be making a trip pretty soon.
On his way to Amsterdam to get his fix, he'll come early. Have a great day. As we go, don't forget later on this afternoon at 4.
Everything going good. Thanks, Ellie. All the best.
One of the callers had asked for some statistics. I found some from Australia concerning premature babies and NICU units. And they're saying 2/3 of babies born at 24 weeks will survive, and 98% of babies born at 30 weeks and more will survive in NICU units. So it's pretty
impressive.
Encouraging.
Pretty impressive. So 98%, and I think a lot of the premature babies in this incident were above 30 weeks. So 30 weeks and above, they say 98% of babies will survive in the NICU unit. 24 weeks and above, it's 2/3, 63% around. So that gives you an idea. The statistic, this is coming out of Australia. So that's giving you an idea, at least from an Australian point of view.
As we go, don't forget for this afternoon, join Denise Deming and Professor Brian Copeland and Hard Talk talking about PAN and economics. Have a great day. All be safe out there.
All right, folks. Have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
And of course, theater is on this week, Saturday and Sunday at Cipriani College. Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30 p.m. You should get your tickets as soon as possible. Tickets available at all our outlets, including K-Squared Fashions at West Mall and Eastgate, Electronics in Arima, Jubilee Rawi in Tunapuna, Shafley Auto Services, and of course, Creme Fresh in Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, and Tony's Florals, Val Park Shopping Plaza. You can check RSR Productions Theatre on Facebook for all of the information, including how to purchase tickets online. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do, and speak to you bright and early tomorrow morning. Enjoy your Monday.
All right, folks.